Good evening. You're watching Reporter's Diary on the Eco of India's Facebook page as well as on the YouTube channel. Before we move ahead, here are the headlines or the major issues in news today. In national news, the special judge hearing the Babri Mosque demolition case in Lucknow is expected to pronounce its judgment by the end of September. Justice S.K. Yadav, who had been hearing the case on Tuesday, said that he will start writing the judgment from Wednesday. The accused in the case include former Deputy Prime Minister L.K. Advani, former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh, and senior BJP leaders Murli Manohar Joshi, Uma Bharti, Vinay Katiyar, and Sakshi Maharaj, among others. Finally, Dr. Kafil Khan can heave a sigh of relief. The Allahabad High Court on Tuesday quashed his detention under National Security Act and ordered his immediate relief. The division bench of Chief Justice Govind Mathur and Justice Soumitra Dayal Singh, while allowing the writ petition filed by Khan's mother Nuzhat Parveen, said the order for his detention passed by the district magistrate was illegal and also observed that the DM made a selective reading of his speech at Aligarh Muslim University. In global news, immediate opening up of societies amidst the continuing COVID-19 pandemic is nothing but a recipe for disaster, the World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has said. Countries that are serious about opening up must also be serious about suppressing transmission, he said. In business, before the crucial US presidential election in November this year, there is a chance that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump might sign a mini trade deal, US Deputy Secretary of State Stephen Biegun said. And in sports, all 13 members of the Chennai Super Kings contingent have tested positive for COVID-19 early last week, according to the team CEO KS Vishwanathan. They are expected to attend training sessions from September 4th. And now we have our team of reporters joining us. Yes, we have Asmita, Shumanto, Razia, and Riddhi. Starting with you, Ashmita, what are major, issues in news today?
Hi, Safi. The first story that I would like to mention here is that the state government is planning to give ownership of land to about 20,000 people residing in refugee colonies in the state. And incidentally, Safi, most of these people are immigrants from Bangladesh. Prepare. And another new story that I have to share that is that today scores of people descended at the ancestral house of deceased former President Pranab Mukherjee at Kinahar in Birbhum district. Now, in fact, this will be the first time after many years that Pranab Babu will be absent at the Durga Puja held in his house. And the last news that I have, Kolkata Metro Railway Authority is likely to have a meeting with the state government on Wednesday or Thursday to discuss the modalities of the metro services before resuming it from September 8th. And according to sources, the Metro Railway will tell the state government that it will not run service on Sundays initially, and the metro will likely to run from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No new metro card will be issued, and who have smart card already can use metro services from September 8th.
All right, so metro services from 8th of September in Calcutta. That's a news which is developing, which will be looked into, perhaps because the modalities that Asmita is talking about, how this crowd management will be put in place. Anyway, we move on with Riddhi. Yes, Riddhi, what all at your end?
Hi, Safi. One story I would like to mention here is that Abhijit Mukherjee, son of the deceased former President Pranab Mukherjee, today announced that he would convert the first floor of the house that Pranab Mukherjee built at Jangipur into a museum and a library. And another good news is that for the cricket connoisseurs and researchers, eminent cricket historian Ramachandra Guha is coming out with yet another book with another book on the game that will cover the whole gamut of cricket. That's all from my side, sir.
All right, this seems to be some kind of connectivity issue, but anyway, Riddhi, would you like to repeat the last piece that you have just mentioned? The book you are
Sure.
mentioning, Ramchandra Guha's book.
Yes, there is a good news for the cricket connoisseurs and the researchers. Eminent cricket historian Ramachandra Guha is coming out with another book on the game or on the game that will cover the whole game of cricket.
All right, we move on to Sumanto. Yes, Sumanto, good evening. What else happening in
Good
North Bengal,
evening.
Sikkim?
First from Shiliguri, Shafi, as you know it very well, that tourism has been the worst affected sector following this economic contraction because of the COVID pandemic, which is evident from the 24%, almost 24% decline in the GDP. So precisely today, the tourism stakeholders in North Bengal staged protest at Bagdogra Airport, demanding that this Unlock 4 should also include unlock tourism so that tourism can start even to a lesser extent. Among the other demands they raised were waiver of taxes like road tax, interstate taxes for the vehicles, and a GST holiday for 12 months. They also demanded a loan moratorium for 1 year so that already they have lost a lot of money so that they can tide over this economic crisis to a great extent. And this is interesting from point generally the stakeholders in the tourism sector avoid and distance themselves from any kind of such demonstration. And on that point, it's also very interesting that the tourism stakeholders are holding demonstrations. This is from Shiliguri. On the same tourism front in Sikkim, there's a good news. That is the first step to the interstate movement has started in Sikkim. That is, they have started allowing non-tourists people from outside Sikkim who either comes to Sikkim for any business purpose or are employed in any industrial establishments in Sikkim. They can enter the state for a period of 7 days, and they will not have to go to that mandatory 14 days of quarantine period. They can get tested within 48 hours after their entry. If they're tested negative, then they can go to the hotels or houses and do their business work accordingly. So this is a good sign. Then everyone hopes that this is the beginning, and next step will be allowing tourists to come to Sikkim. So that's all from my side today.
Is a distant decision, perhaps, because given the kind of difficult situation we are all facing across the nation, perhaps this is going to take a little more time. But again, given the fact that such steps are being taken, and these steps are positive towards tackling the post-COVID situation, perhaps we are moving towards that situation which Sumanto is referring to, that soon, which we all have been wishing for, we all wish for, is to have an access to the hill stations and to beautiful places like ones in Sikkim and in North Bengal. Thanks, Sumanto, for the updates. Razia, good evening. What's happening in Port Blair? Razia.
Good evening. Shafi, there was a lockdown for a 1 month lockdown is almost over. It's over. August month was complete lockdown due to COVID. The weekend was a complete lockdown, and on weekdays it was a lockdown with some sort of relief to the islanders. And hopefully after the COVID cases also dipping day by day. Now it's around 400 something. And yesterday it was a relief for the island people because it was raining heavily here. And now the private workers are in relief so that they can go for their bread and butter. They can go for their earning. The auto drivers, the private vehicle drivers are in a relief here. So that's all from Port Blair, Shafi. We were on leave for 2 days. So we'll be coming for more update tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Razia. So, viewers, before we move on, thanks Asmita, Shumanto, Razia once again, and Riddhi for joining Reporters Diary. Viewers, this is all we have in today's Reporters Diary. Join us again tomorrow at 6:30. Goodbye for now.